out here with a mob of hoggets and a Peggy Sue who is still hell-bent on being friends with birds. Peg! Will I go, Peg? And look, you out here we've got what we planted was a 10-way mix out here at Simon Osborne's. And so in this mix there's favour beans, phacelia, there was buckwheat, and there was sunflowers. However, they've since senesced with the coming of the frost. Oats, tears, crimson clover, berseem clover. There's some involuntary mustard here. What else have we got in here? Oh look, there's some dandelions involuntary, very cool. This paddock is up around 12% organic matter and has not been cultivated for somewhat close to 100 years, possibly beyond. I have to confirm that with Simon. But yeah, Simon Osborne's the farmer here. I get the privilege of working with him almost every day. And I tell you what, I'm really enjoying we talk about symbiosis in the soil. Well, I've noticed since starting the group Quorum Sense is that the symbiosis and the phenomenon quorum sensing itself is also present in humans. And so we get to come out here and have a ball, Simon and I. Pig! Get in behind! Get in behind! Thinking it's time to move animals. It is so not. And so out here, we're looking at, this is getting close to sort of 4,200, 4,300 even kilograms of dry matter. And with that synergy of, 10, 11, 12 different species, different root architectures, different, times of year for performance, this is the result. We get really disease-resistant plants. Another cool thing I learned off Jonathan Lundgren when he was here earlier this year, actually end of last year with Quorum Sense the group, is that these beans actually provide, see those black dots? That's a source of pollen, of nectar for honeybees. Isn't that amazing, even without the plant being in flower? And so out here, look at how healthy this is. And we've got, even though those mustard plants are involuntary, we've got another source of food for bees. And so when we look at these oats here, if I was to have the bricks meter out here, I dare say they'd be well up over sort of 15 on the refractometer. And it shows because the lack of insect pressure, there's basically none. Look at these beans. I'm sure there's a lot of beans around the area that are just absolutely snotted with insect burden. We just don't have that issue here with this level of that diversity of microbial activity in the soil through this diversification of plant species. Look at it, we get to, I sort of wish I'd bought the shovel because this soil is orgasmic. It's like the most yummiest chocolate cake you've ever seen. Like I'd eat it, it's that yum. Out here at Simon's is he uses biological inputs and really mitigating any herbicide applications. For instance, when we terminate crops to put in cash crops, we use a very light rate of glyphosate and just straight plain glyphosate. None of these fancy ones with all the additives that in a lot of cases are more harmful than the glyphosate itself. And we chelate it with a carbon source, in this case fulvic acid. And so, yes, there are some limiting factors to that tool. However, it works in this system, and this is the result. And these lambs, these guys get to put on, these guys could be putting on 350 kilograms of dry matter a day at a guess, and my guess is they're only eating around a kilogram of dry matter a day, which is just, the old Lincoln University handbook would say that they'd need to be eating 1.6 to put on that sort of weight, 1.8, not when the animals are able to self-medicate and get that diversity of microbial activity in the stomach. And so, utilisation of this food for them, and especially look at how green and lush it is. That's energy, that's sugar, which is all these animals need to put weight on. Then goes out the door the discussion of needing all this dry matter, because it's not the case anymore. They're getting the sugars. We're about to shift these through. Peg, will I go, Peg? Not yet, girl. In behind! Peg! Bloody hell, she's just new to the scene of animals. So out here we're working on the system, or the idea of sort of a third trampled, a third down the throat and a third left to regrow. And although the intention isn't necessarily in this case to get another grazing, we get to leave enough surface area on the leaf to ensure, pig, that these plants will continue to exudate sugars to keep biology alive in the soil. And then so in the summer we can come in and put in a cash crop, and we just know every time that this is going to perform. We've got the trampling effect, creating food for microbes on top, and also a suspension layer, I call it, for animal hooves and dispersing that weight so that, you know, compaction from hooves just disappears from the question. Peg, I'm getting sick of it, mate. Come on, girl, let's go. Chad behaves better than her, I swear. Come on. I think I might wait for the real dogs to come and do the job. And so, you know, we look at the fecal matter on the ground. It's, you know, a lot of the time we're seeing, you know, diarrhea basically, and we wonder why we have to spend so much money on animal health supplements and inputs to keep animals healthy, because they just don't have that ability to self-medicate on, you know, ryegrass and clover, especially when we're applying inputs like synthetic N, urea, etc., and especially superphosphate. These things inhibit our natural cycles. They've been a tool used throughout certainly the last 2 to 3 generations here. Look at this, lamb's chasing my dog. Yeah, pride out the window, thanks Peg. And so, you know, first thing I encourage guys to do when I'm coming onto properties with natural performances is to firstly address those limiting factors that we don't realise are limiting us. We sort of put these products on and we see a response and think, oh, that's fantastic. And then the animals eat and we've got to feed them so much just to get them putting weight on. And they just don't perform. They're essentially getting sick, and then we have to mitigate that with, you know, drenches and things, which the drench thing, you know, when we're using synthetic drenches down the throat, that fecal matter on the ground then becomes toxic to soil life. The dung, pig! Bloody hell. I have to watch my language here soon because it's going to get colourful. Peg, come on, let's go, Peg! We're going to jump on the Mahindra and get out of here, but it's really exciting for me to have this perspective and offer it to the world. How's that for a water trough truck? Old Mazda. I've got a mate that loves rotaries. Peg, and I dare say he'd love to get his hands on that just for a burnout car. She's a honey. We just tow around with the A-frame to keep the water up to the lambs. But yeah, just a quick video on what we're seeing out here because it's really cool.